Hey everyone, it's Kai from Kool Collectibles, back again for another 1/6 scale figure review. This time an older figure from Sideshow's Scum and Villainy line from a couple of years ago, with the Tusken Raider Sideshow exclusive. Now, if you follow the page, you probably know that I've been waiting on a few pre-orders in the 1/6 scale line, and most of those have been delayed recently due to the dock strikes in LA. So, as with any addicted collector, I went looking for that fix, and it just so happened that I was speaking to some local Australian collectors, and they recommended a group, a local group, on Facebook, and so I joined the group, and it just so happened that a collector in Australia was selling his pretty much complete collection of Sideshow Star Wars figures, and all of them were either back in box in great condition or mint in box, and he told me that this Tusken Raider was pretty much mint in box. I think he opened it to have a look at it and put it straight back in the box, and when I opened it, the fumes were the plastic fumes were still pretty strong, so it was definitely pretty damn new, and I got it for a great price. And it was always a figure I sort of had in the back of my mind that I should be getting for Star Wars, but I never went through with it. I think it released in late 2012, and now that I have it in hand, I think I was definitely stupid back then not to get it, and I'm definitely glad to have it now, because it is, I think, one of their best figures they've ever made. But I'll get to that in a second. Just a quick rundown of the box. Standard sort of packaging that you see in the Star Wars line. Magnets and opening out to the clamshell underneath, and the various artwork on all sides with the photos of the figure. So just a quick go through the accessories. It comes with 3 other swap out hands, and the swap out hands are always fairly nicely done by Sideshow, and I always love the fact that they always include the hand pegs, unlike Hot Toys. If Hot Toys did that, I think that would be pretty damn amazing. So you get the trigger hand. I think this is the butt holding hand of the rifle, and just the other holding hand there. So nicely done there. He comes with the standard gaffy stick, which is I guess the iconic weapon where he sticks his hands up in the air. Does that, whatever that sound is. I'm not gonna try and replicate that sound. But the detail on this is pretty damn nice. So the paint app across the accessories here is probably the best I've seen, or some of the best I've seen out of Sideshow. So you get a nicely weathered look there in the front there, and then the spear end of it, which is plastic, but still really nicely molded and detailed. Since I got the Sideshow exclusive, it comes with I guess a sort of a gaffy stick, but with the sort of paddle end. I'm not sure what that's for, if this is just meant to mimic a rifle or something, but this was the exclusive, and that's a nice sort of fake wood texture there, with a nice sort of black wash there, so that's all nicely done, and the fake sort of wrapping there, and again the plastic tip. But these are quite sharp, so even though they're plastic, they're pretty nicely done. But the surprising thing is the actual rifle here, which has a metal barrel. So there's the tip, and this whole piece here, leading all the way up to this point here, is actually a solid piece of metal. So I guess you can't hear that ding ding, but yeah, it's metal, and it's nicely sort of brushed and weathered there, so that's really nice. And the detail in the gun components here, I don't think it actually moves, and I'm not going to try and force anything, but it's a real spring here, and these all look very nice. And the handle here, the handle I don't think is as nicely painted as the exclusive version here. It seems a little bit more flat in paint, but still not bad. So those are 3 pretty awesome accessories. But of course, the best thing is the figure itself, and the more you sort of look at this figure, and play around with it, the more amazed you get by it. And I guess the first thing that you really notice is this incredible head sculpt. These bandages they're not real bandages. It's all molded, but it's the paint application that really sets it apart and makes it actually look lifelike. And so you get the sort of texturing, even the bits that sort of sit out from the head sculpt that really make it look like real bandages. And I don't think they could have done that any better. And I love that they've got these little metal horns. I don't know if they're metal. They could be. But I think the eyes here are definitely metal. So you get the eyes, and I don't know what those protrusions are, but all the detail in there, so you can see the sort of difference in those two lines underneath the eyes, which is very accurate to the movie. And then just the mouthpiece there as well. So the bandages around here are a nice, different color to the brown, and then the sort of material here and the silver there. So it's just an amazing head sculpt. And this is why I think Sideshow really excels at the trooper. Anything with an alien sort of feel to it, or a trooper with a helmet, something like that, something that's non-human, I think they really excel at. But if it's a human head sculpt where they need to really nail the likeness, they don't seem to get that quite right. But for the sand people, this Tusken Raider, it's an incredible likeness. But that's just the tip of how awesome this is. You get this, I think it's like a respirator or something, and this is a real metal hinge here, or a metal piece that goes into this nicely sort of textured area. And the costume, there's so many different layers to this costume. It's incredible. So I'll just zoom out. You get this sort of outer layer, which is like a really thin, nicely textured. It's almost like what's that material called? A linen material. And then it's got another layer underneath here in a sort of a yellowy color. That's all nicely sort of weathered down here with dirt and so on, which sort of folds through. So it's almost like a kimono, I guess. And then underneath you have another layer, which is like the white, a more of a lighter color underneath. That's an even thinner material. And then underneath here you get the brown undersuit and some bandages on the lower legs and feet, which I'll show you guys in a bit. That's how many layers? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 or 5 layers of clothing on this one figure, and it just adds to an incredible sort of realism and texture to the figure. So I'll just pick this guy up now, and then you get the finishing touches on these bandoliers here, which are really nicely made. I think it's like a fake. I don't think it's real leather. It's a faux leather type material, but the weathering here is much better than I think even the Hot Toys Indiana Jones. So the leather look there is really nicely done, and it goes around to the back here where it sort of straps on. I haven't actually taken off the jacket, but they do have real buckles and so on. So I wouldn't want to take those off, because getting those back in would be a real pain in the ass, I think. But just the realism of those bandoliers is awesome. Around the head sculpt, around the neck area, you get another piece of this material around the neck, which is nicely done. And then you get down here 5 pouches around the waist belt, and this is like a nice soft, another sort of fake leather material, but it's a lighter color and a softer texture. And around the back here, if I can just lift this up, you can see that it's a real buckle, and there's the sort of material there. So I don't know if that's I don't think it's real leather, but some sort of felt material with a sort of leather-like texture on the top, and that's all sort of nicely painted and textured with the black wash. the pouches here aren't functional, so those are pretty much glued on, I think. But just the look of them is pretty damn awesome. And then you get to, as I was saying before, the different layers of the clothing. So you can sort of peel back the layers, and you can see the brown undersuit here, and these bandages are real bandages around the lower legs, and they're nicely weathered. Not overly done, but just about right, I reckon. Some people sort of would prefer them a bit dirtier, but just the real sort of bandage around them, it's just incredible. So the only fault that I can find with this figure is right here in the knees. Now I don't know if it's just indicative of this body that they've used, and whether or not it's the same sort of body they used on their 1/6 scale Boba Fett, because I had the hardest time trying to move the legs on Boba Fett, and this one here is the same. So you can sort of clearly see the joint, but when you and it's a double joint, so you can see the top and the bottom, but when you try and bend it, mine just, you can sort of feel it flexing, but the more you try to bend it, the more it feels like the plastic is more flexing rather than the joint itself moving. So I don't want to result in snapping these legs in half. So I'll probably leave it at that and pose him with you know, that iconic pose where his hands are in the air after he's attacked Skywalker. So that really is the only negative thing I can find with this figure. The articulation everywhere else in the arms, the waist, the head, is really you know, limitless. You can put it in any sort of position you would want with a 1/6 scale figure. Just these these lower legs just don't do it for me with the articulation on the knees. I eventually sort of had I was brave enough to try a little bit harder with my Boba Fett, and they eventually did bend, but even then I'm reluctant to try and do it so often with Boba, and I'm definitely not going to try it with this guy. So other than that, I think it's really one of their best figures that they've ever done, just in terms of the detail, the texturing, the amount of effort that they've put in just on the outfit itself is incredible. So it just feels to me like they've put a lot of effort into this one particular figure, and this was a couple of years ago, and I don't think any of their recent releases have come anywhere near the sort of level of detail and accuracy that they put into this. Because when I look at this, it feels like they put a lot of love into this particular figure. So it doesn't look like they've got any credits for the production team on the box, but comparing it to you know, their IG-88 and you know, I guess they're blasting out the clone troopers now, but this guy is just outstanding. So if you're a Star Wars fan and you missed out on this, or you were on the fence like I was, I would highly recommend getting on board right now and finding a good deal locally, or you know, even on eBay, trying to find a decent deal on this figure, because I can't recommend it enough. It's for a Star Wars fan, and now that Hot Toys are coming out with all of their OT figures as well, this is going to fit in perfectly with that whole sort of Star Wars original trilogy display sort of setup that you might want to have. So now that I've got the Sand Trooper and all the Hot Toys on pre-order, I'm definitely glad that I managed to pick this guy up. So thanks again to Dale from the Facebook group, and hopefully I can look through and see if he's got any more. I think he had the Dewback, which I might be definitely interested in getting as well. So we'll see what happens there. But that's pretty much it. Thanks again for tuning in. Hope you can click that subscribe button, because I do have a whole bunch of 1/6 scale figure reviews coming in early 2015 that were supposed to come in late 2014. So I've got Hoth Han, Hoth Luke, R2-D2 coming from Star Wars, and I've got RoboCop coming as well. So those four were supposed to come in the December time frame, but were all delayed. So Other than that, I hope you guys can stay tuned to all the photos that I'll be posting up over the next few weeks anyway, with a whole bunch of other collectibles that I've got from Kotobukiya statues and so on. So thanks again, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Cheers.